Hello and welcome back, and on this video we're going to tell you about our trip to the Metro Centre in Newcastle, and we stayed in two hotels while we were there, didn't we?
We did.
Stayed at the Village Hotel in Newcastle, and we also stopped at the Delta by Marriott, which is right next door to the actual Metro Centre itself. We're going to do a little bit of comparison between the two, and at the end of this video we'll let you know which one we think was the best, won't we?
We will.
We will. We first went to the Village Hotel in Newcastle many years ago when we very first went to visit the Metro Centre. This visit was for your birthday, wasn't it?
Was my birthday weekend.
Because what do you like to do?
Shop.
And where's the best place to shop?
Not the Metro Centre.
No, well, 'cause that's another video. We'll be doing that another time. But on this occasion, we thought we'd have a ride up to the Metro Centre, stay a couple of nights, take it really casual, and have a look around the area while I was there, because we've not really looked around Newcastle, have we, in that area before. So our first stay, as I say, was in the village, and we have been there before. We've stopped in other villages, haven't we? We've been in the Nottingham one. Our daughter got married in Nottingham, and we actually went the night before from the village Nottingham, didn't we? And we had a very pleasant stay. This is going back a few years, though, and then they introduced the upper deck, which was supposed to be the posh version of the rooms. And they were always very nice, weren't they? Lovely wooden furniture and very well appointed. So we're really looking forward to this visit to the village. And we arrived late on the Friday night. We'd had a really bad trip getting up there. The weather wasn't particularly pleasant, was it?
Atrocious driving up.
So we got into the hotel and it was quite late, so we decided we'd have our dinner. And the only place that was available was the bar and grill. So let's go now and have a look at our dinner in the bar and grill. You remember the bar and grill?
Remember it well.
Yes, it was a nice quiet meal, if I remember.
It was definitely not quiet.
So let's have a look now. That's a big menu. Take an hour or two to read through. Oh, why do they write it in such small letters though? So that was our meal in the bar and grill. What did you think to the meal then?
I enjoyed my food. My food was fine. That's all I can say positive about it.
The food was okay. I thought pricing wasn't too bad. Came out pretty promptly, but the atmosphere was a little bit, left a lot to be desired, I think. Unfortunately, it was a little bit spoilt for us, wasn't it, by the rather loud and unusual musician they had on at the time. Live music's okay, but not when it's so intrusive that it actually means that you can't hear each other talk. So anyway, that was the meal and the bar. Let's now move on to the room and have a look at the room. Is it me then, or is that gone? Seriously downhill.
Seriously.
I say. Right.
Just ultra modern, isn't it? What they call
It's, no, it's not. It's not. It's tacky. That's not ultra modern. That's tacky. I mean, if you remember, that upper deck one had got like that pattern across the things, but it didn't look like this. I mean, this is just minimalistic. I mean, I've like Hotel Ibis. I've been in Hotel Ibis and they're like this, but they don't cost you 90 quid a night. But you do get a.
Bye.
I mean, Dyson fan's pretty good, isn't it?
It is. You didn't really need one tonight.
No, especially the left window open and it poured out rain inside. So. Shower's nice though. Sitting down shower, spot on that. I'm looking forward to a bath. So big bonus for the shower, but that's nasty.
Down to fetch them bags.
Nasty. Well, if that's upper deck, I'd hate to see an ordinary one.
Going down. Going down.
That says a lot.
Ground floor.
Wow. Nice. You push the chaser back, great answer. The three-legged dog as opposed to
Yep,
what
there's
activity
no shelf for the bag. There used to be something there because there's marks on the floor.
Friction.
There used to be some furniture of some description.
Friction, correct.
Bet there's a table got broke.
Friction.
But each need to be individually fried.
Individually fried.
What's happened? You see it, Michelle's worried.
Oh, that's just Nicole Code.
You better off to eat there.
I never hear anyone say that.
I never thought.
It's too much
Too
cake.
much cake. No.
Oh shit.
So put it this way, I'm not going to help any of you. Oh yes, look at them potato nests.
Yeah, I think Eagle.
That was the room at the Village. Any thoughts?
I think I liked the room better than you did. You didn't like the room at all. But I thought the room was, for what we paid for, it was quite adequate. It was nice, clean. All I want is a clean room and a shower and a bed. And that's what I thought we got. It wasn't spectacular, but it was well acceptable.
I think it's worth saying that we paid slightly less than what they normally advertise the room at. They do a special deal that if you go onto the website and you join up their website, I think it's called the Rendezvous Club or something like that. but you join their website and you get a discount basically. We got the room for £92, and that included an upgrade to the club room, which was a little bit less than what they advertised on booking.com. It was about £115 on there. So we got a good deal in that respect, and that did include breakfast. For me, the room was nothing like what we'd experienced before. All the nice furniture and fittings had all gone, and we were left some really, I thought, quite cheap and tacky furniture. Looked like it had been bought from some cheap IKEA sale or something. The extra upgrade price got you a better class of room, allegedly, but actually the only piece of furniture extra in the room appeared to be the desk. You also got admission to the gym, which we didn't get a chance to use at the time, and you got free Wi-Fi. I did actually ask the receptionist the next day about the bed, because we thought the bed was a bit on the slim side, didn't we? It was supposed to be a king-size bed, and it didn't feel king-size to me at all. In fact, it felt just like a normal 4'6". And sure enough, when we asked the receptionist, they went, "Oh yeah, the king sizes are on the front. That wasn't one of the king size." And she actually agreed to pay back our upgrade fee of £5. When the bill came the next day, it hadn't been took off, so we still paid it anyway. So for me, it wasn't great, and it wasn't anywhere near as nice as it had been when we've stayed there in the past for me. But obviously, you didn't think it was too bad.
I didn't, because the Village now is a completely different hotel to what we used to stay in. It's gone like minimalistic.
Yes.
And that's what it got, a minimalistic room. It was just ultra modern.
There's definitely what you would normally say is a different vibe to the hotel as it used to be. It used to be quite a classical type, ordinary styled hotel, and now, like you saw the photos in the lift, and there's big instructions how to be quiet as you're walking around on the lift, and you go, really? That's not really the sort of hotel we would normally stop in, is it?
Well, it didn't help that there was an actual prom going on that
Well,
night
yes,
with a lot of
I mean,
children.
there was a school prom, and there was an horrendous smell of some burning vegetables, shall we say, down in the entrance hall. Bless her, the receptionist on duty did seem to be handling the situation well, but she did have her hands full. I felt that she probably needed a little bit more staff. She did at one point have to go and chase a load of kids that were running off to find a room. Anyway, so come next morning, woke up bright and early, and went and had our breakfast before we set off for our date at the Metro Centre. And breakfast was, it was acceptable. It was a little bit strange that it was laid out mostly around the edge of the bar. They had a central bar, and most of the breakfast items were laid out around the sides. The only strange thing is if you wanted any eggs of any description, you had to order those, and yet you didn't have to order the sausage and other cooked food, but eggs you had to order. Wasn't a problem, they come out very quickly. So I would say, yeah, breakfast was acceptable. Well,
I think there was quite organisation to the breakfast, because when you walk round somewhere, some buffets you're going a bit over there and a bit over there and a bit over there, where you literally walked around, and I thought the pastries was exceptional.
I like the pastries.
The pastries were beautiful.
Yeah. I'm quite used to just starting at one end of a buffet and walking
And
the other.
I had poached eggs, and the poached eggs were spot on.
No, so I've got no grumbles about the breakfast at all, and it was in the same bar and grill that we'd been the night before, and although they did have a little bit of music playing in the background, it was a completely different atmosphere, wasn't it?
It's a very pleasant breakfast,
Yeah.
atmosphere-wise.
So, off to the Metro Centre, which we will show you in another video at some point, and then the night after, we stayed at the Delta by Marriott. Now, I've got to say at this point, what I didn't remember from the Village is that it was nearly 10 miles away from the Metro Centre. And that's a bit of a slog, because it's 10 miles further than what we'd already driven. So it was a bit, oh, we're not there yet, sort of thing. The Delta by Marriott is right outside. Literally, you drive out the car park and into the Delta's car park. It is that quick. So if anybody's looking for a hotel for the Metro Centre specifically, then the Delta by Marriott is certainly one that is a good choice. Now, we've stayed in a Delta once before down in Gloucester. Or was it Cheltenham? I'm never quite sure.
We went to Gloucester Cheltenham on the weekend, so it could
Yeah.
be. It was in the middle, actually.
Look it up. It's either going to be Cheltenham or Gloucester, but it's on the border. It's 4 miles from either. And we had a really, really pleasant stay there. So when we saw there was a Delta actually at Newcastle, I went, oh, okay, we'll pick that one. We paid £115 for that night, and that was also including breakfast. So if you'd have gone by booking.com or some other hotel type website, you would probably find it's the same price as the Village. So they were comparable. But as I say, we got a little bit of a discount, so it made it about £15–20 cheaper. So we got into the Delta, and it's a completely different atmosphere, isn't it? It is a proper, very nice, laid out hotel.
Yeah, very, very quiet, even as you walked in, which the Village was not quiet the minute you walked in.
No. And it would just seem to be more relaxing. So we headed for the room. They had done all the appropriate sort of registration, etc. And now that we tend to look for sort of accessible rooms, don't we? They got all that sorted out. We were supposed to have had an accessible room with a roll-in shower. So let's go and have a look at the room and see what happens. In hindsight, 2 nights in here would have been better.
Suitcase on.
Well, immediately what comes to mind is, suitcase holder, bedside cabinet both sides, so I've got somewhere to put my tea, double sofa instead of a single chair, extra chair there, nice chair for the desk, nice furniture. No, and oh, that's me. Nice mirror area and a nice little tea area. Although, let's have a look. We've got biscuits in here. And a little bit more tea and coffee and sugar in the other one. Nice wardrobes. Not just chucking them on the floor. And how is that accessible? That's not got a roll-in shower. She said it was a walk-in shower, didn't she?
Yeah.
I want to go back. That's not a walk-in shower. So we have just relocated into another accessible room that does actually have a wet room shower. They're in the middle of refurbishing. Slight mistake in the other one. They don't have a shelf to put any of your toiletries, but it's got shampoo, conditioner and shower gel on the wall, so you don't really need it. But again, very nice. It just shows you it's not a fluke because they are very similar rooms. Just up the corridor really, weren't it? But I should have actually measured the other room because nice view of the roof. This is a lot bigger room than the one that we had at the Village, do you think? I mean, you couldn't get a sofa in next to the bed, and there weren't 2 bedside cabinets, so
This is bigger than the last one, wasn't it? Than the one that we've just come out.
yeah.
With the light switches, was it?
How do you think it compares to the one in Gloucester? Not bearing in mind that wasn't accessible. Oh, it was an accessible room because she put us in just because we'd booked the wheelchair space.
Yeah, she put us in the room and then let us.
I think they're very tastefully decorated, nice and quiet. Oh, the Village is a bit loud.
Like a chill room.
Yeah. Yeah. Right, I'm going to go and fetch all the luggage while you sit there and watch the TV.
Oh, no, it's showing.
Oh, right, okay. We'll better stop the video then because I don't want to see you in the shower. Ooh, right. Fully laden up with the bags. So as you saw, there was a bit of a hiccup, but it was very quickly sorted out by the two young ladies on reception, and I thought the service was exemplary. Next up then is let's go and see what the dinner was like in the Delta Marriott's restaurant. You seen anything you fancy?
How hot is the spice?
Well, I don't know. Spicy. Ooh. Not hot.
It's hot.
Alright. Cauliflower. One bit of cauliflower. I'm having the chicken skewers. That's a nice sized piece of fish. So there you are. That was dinner. What did you think to the Delta dinner?
It wasn't as nice as the other Marriott went in. It was a bit more. The restaurant wasn't as nice, atmosphere-wise. Don't think the menu was nowhere near as good. But saying that, the food we had was very nice. We had fish and chips, and it was really, really
As you've
nice.
just seen, of course. See, we haven't even watched that video since we've made it, so we don't actually remember what we've had. Yes, that was right. We had a very nice meal, but the restaurant wasn't quite as elegant, I think.
No.
The one in Gloucester is a very, very nicely laid out place. The service was good, but it just lacked that little bit of edge that the Gloucester one had, and the menu definitely wasn't as good. They gave you a set menu, and it just didn't have the right feel to it. It felt like somebody just tapped it out quickly on the typewriter and thrown it at you. And no, the meal was good, but I was a little bit disappointed because after the stay that we'd had in Gloucester, I just expected a little bit more.
Oh, it was proper good a la carte menu in Gloucester.
So, Marriott, that's maybe something to have a look at. Having said that, as we said, we had a nice meal, fish and chips. It was about the only thing on the menu that we really fancied, wasn't it? And the only thing I would say is that the drink prices were extremely expensive. I was looking at the wine list and they were talking £11 for a glass of wine. That seems a little bit astronomical even for me, and I don't drink a lot, and we don't normally worry about the drink prices when we're away because we don't drink that much, do we? But you look at a glass of wine for £11 and I'm thinking, no, we'll stick to the Coca-Cola. So we went and had a very nice night in the room, very pleasant, very comfortable bed.
Yeah, good shower.
Good shower, good sleep, and then went for breakfast. And this is breakfast. Trying to be sunny today. It's nice to have the tea and coffee in a pot instead of off a machine. Yeah. Oh, we've got a good selection. Hot or
It's not
cold?
as nice today.
No?
Just because
No, a bit thicker yesterday, wasn't it?
bacon's bacon.
Scrambled egg looks better though. Yesterday it was white. It was wet through.
And I thought the layout of this one was bad. Breakfast wise. This is what I say when it's a bit over there and a bit over there and there's no roll to it.
Yeah, it was a very strange layout. It obviously was in the same restaurant as the night before, and we hadn't really had a good look round. But they had a central table with some items on. They had a coffee machine at the other end of the room that didn't work. They fixed that while we were there. They had another coffee machine on another table. They had the long hot bar with all the various hot food on, and then round the corner they had another bar with all the toasted bread and stuff, and there was plenty of it, but it was just very spread out. Now compared to the Village, there was a lot more on the breakfast. There was a lot more variety. There was a lot more to choose from.
Yeah. I
But
suppose there was.
and the quality was equally as good. But yes, it took a bit of time to collect it all up and take it back. But I had a very nice, relaxing breakfast. Like all buffet breakfast, you can go back and get as much as you like. And I thought I liked it. Personally, myself, just because it was laid out in a proper buffet manner, I preferred it that way rather than having to walk around a bar. But I suppose there's not a lot of difference really. So it's 1-1 really then for the breakfast. You preferred the
Village.
The Village,
Yeah.
and I preferred the Delta. There you go. We don't always agree, do we?
No. We never agree.
Absolutely. But we do agree that we never agree. So that was our stay at the Village and Delta in Newcastle. So the question that we said we would answer right at the start of this video is, did we enjoy it? Did we like one better than the other? And would we go back? So let's answer that question. You go first. Which one did you prefer?
I preferred the Delta Marriott
Why?
just because the other one was a bit too chaotic for me when we arrived. Yeah, when we left the following morning, it was a lot different because obviously there wasn't a prom knocking about, there wasn't people in the bar area. So it was a lot more nicer in the morning, but it's still that first impression to me is the one that counts.
Yeah. I mean, I must say the same. The Delta had just got a nicer, classier feel to it. And although, yes, on the paper it did cost a little bit more, initially they were the same price. So I believe that they would be classed as a comparable hotel, and I don't particularly think they are. I certainly think that the standard of the room in the Village has dropped dramatically since the first time we went into it. But you like that sort of style, so...
Well, I like it more than you do. You like the traditional style rooms, where I like the modern style
But
rooms.
we'll go back to the original question. If you had to stop in one or the other, for just the room, which room would you pick?
Delta.
There you go. See, we always agree. So I think the overall consensus is we will be stopping in the Delta again. I think they could sort the restaurant out a little bit better at that one.
Yeah, I don't think we'd stay in that one again, but
No. And I definitely am not looking to stop in a Village anytime soon.
yeah, but I look at the Delta and the two Deltas we stayed at were totally different.
But they were both better than the Village.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, did we just pick a bad Village? Because it's in.
Well, they all seem to have that style nowadays. Well, we can go back and have another look.
So I don't.
Oh, the consensus is out.
Well, the thing is, I always think we've stayed at other hotels where we've gone to the same brand. One's been absolutely amazing. The other one, it's been rubbish.
Well, I think our experiences with the Holiday Inn sort of prove that, don't they? Because there's some Holiday Inns where we absolutely love, and there's some that are absolutely
Well, I
dire.
wasn't thinking of that. I was thinking Hampton on Hilton's.
Well, yes, we can also think of a couple of Hampton Hiltons where one was really spectacular and the other one was absolutely dire. But there you go.
That's what. So I don't think you can always judge the group.
No.
I think sometimes it's.
But I just
Where it
think
is.
the general ambience of the whole Village approach has changed from what we would normally look for.
No, if I had a choice and I could only choose one, it would definitely still be Delta by Marriott.
Okay. So, anyway, what a strange video.
You asked me to be.
No, I'm not asking your opinion ever again. So, that's it from us for this video. And please don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time, we'll say goodbye and thank you again.
Yes, thank you for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
I can cut that. I can make that look good.